Welcome
Um,
to Shadeinthecity. I'm your girl Treese,
it's Nellz.
and we're here to give you our recap of the life that happens after the lockup. This is season 5, episode 42. Now, and I don't even think this is the right background, y'all. I went back to last season. This is Love After Lockup. Let me take this thing out of here. I don't even need that no more. Sorry, y'all. We're here for the life after the lockup. I'm ready now. But yeah, y'all, if you haven't already, please make sure that y'all go ahead and hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump right into it. Wasn't much. I actually thought this was kind of like if I had to rate the episode, I might have given it a 3.5.
Out of what? A 10?
Oh, if it was out of 10, I'm thinking like 5. But if it was out of 10, I would have gave it maybe a 6. It wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think it gave what it needed to give. But yeah, y'all, let's get into it. Let's talk about it and let's get shady. Y'all like my Halloween? Y'all like my Halloween PJs? And I'm gonna be wearing them after Halloween and did and will.
Yeah, they pajamas.
Right. I'm just saying for the folks, for the people who want to get in the comments in next month and be like, why you still wearing them?
I still wear my Valentine ones.
Right. Let's get shady, y'all. All right, y'all. So we are jumping right back into where we left with Tennie and Rob. Okay.
Now, I love this.
What this picture?
So where they left off? No, when they pick up where they left off.
Oh, you're funny. So, all right, I'm gonna tell you this now. After watching the playback, y'all, Tennie absolutely put her hands on Kate.
Well, we knew that.
I didn't see that. I think, and I wanted to correct myself for the people. Luckily, nobody jumped down in the comments and said anything, but I know what I said, so I wanted to correct myself because I did say that Kate put her hands on Tennie first, and that was not the case.
No, she was talking mess.
Anyway, so they start scuffling, and Rob and Tennie's mom get in between to try to separate the two of them while they cuss each other out. Kate tells Rob that he can have Tennie forever as she walks out. Rob asks her why she came.
Oh, what mom says that?
Oh, it's definitely
like it's your man.
Yeah, it's definitely a competition, and it's not cute.
That's weird.
It is weird. It is giving really weird, strange, motherly vibes there. Now, basically, Rob asked Tennie, well, why would you come back and get into mama's face? I think I said this. I think I said that last recap, y'all. I said, y'all, I was with her.
You don't say that because that's his mama. But let a man be talking crazy to you as you walking away. You just gonna keep on walking.
Well, Tennie isn't trying to hear it and tells him she was the one that was there visiting him for the last 16 years when his mother wasn't. She reminds him of that. Okay. Now, Kate says that Tennie wouldn't be able to make it without Rob and calls her a gremlin.
So you can't be the woman, and he ain't even your man.
Tennie starts to have a panic attack, and her daughter Cheyenne is trying to calm her down. And in confessional, she talks about how basically, Cheyenne talks about how she just really doesn't know how to process everything happening. And just, I did feel bad for the kids. And, she just wanted to be there for her mother, basically. Now, Kate threatens that once Tennie leaves him, she's going to beat her up again. Tennie refuses to ever be in the same setting with Miss Kate. And she doesn't know how this is going to affect her marriage. What?
Listen, I got to say, though, Kate held her own, though. That old lady, she was swinging them feet. She was kicking them feet, boy. She held her own. I thought, okay. Tennie was trying to grab her. She said.
So then basically Rob tells production. And honestly, I felt bad for the kids, but I felt really bad for Rob. I felt really, really bad for Rob. Just every scene I saw him, he looked like a sad little puppy dog. And he tells production. Huh?
Because he feel like he in the middle.
Right. He, and to Nell's point, he says he feels like he's basically being pulled in two different directions. And I think what makes it even worse is he knows it's about money. It's not because y'all love me so much. That's the sickening part, is that he absolutely knows it's all about his money and what he can do for them. And like I said, that's the sad part. So Tennie's in a car. She's complaining about breaking two of her nails. She feels like Kate came to cause problems with anyone that she encountered. She says that there's nothing Kate could do to ever make her consider having a relationship with her. Rob apologizes to Tennie and the kids once they get home for everything that happened, which I still thought that was very big of him. Because I don't think, granted, I think it was the manly thing to do. And that's why I said I think that's very big of him. I don't think he owed anyone an apology. He didn't do anything in the situation but be there, and kind of it was already messed up because nobody was showing up.
I think he just felt bad that they had
because it was his mama. And so so he apologizes to the kids, he excuses the kids or whatever, and then he tries to have a conversation with Tennie, and he admits that, like, he used to be really close with his mom, but they ain't seeing eye to eye basically lately. And he's like, I'm not really sure how to look at you now because, why didn't you just keep walking away? I said this last week, y'all. And Tennie is very defensive.
Your mama to shut her goddamn mouth.
Well, Tennie, because that's his mama. So Tennie is very well. That's that part. See, that's that part. Because, and this is why it's terrible, because he is a married man, and at the end of the day, mom needs to let go, because one, he's not a child. He's your child, but he's no longer a child. He's a whole grown ass man. He has a family. He has a wife, and no, you no longer come first. And that's to be expected. And I believe that that's part of the problem, because Rob says later on, I'm skipping ahead, but he absolutely says that, I guess his mother thinks because she raised him and his brother that now it's their time to raise her. And I do know, I ain't gonna put out no personal business, but I do know family members, when they get older, they absolutely think that it's their child's job to now take care of them and kind of raise them. And I don't necessarily agree. I don't necessarily agree. I think that you should make sure you have your 401k set up. Make sure that you're doing what you need to do and taking care of the things that you need. Because even as your child, I might not even be able to do for you like that, for real. So I think you need to make sure you have it together. And that's, again, part of the bigger problem. So anyway, so Tennie lets him know, look, you didn't deserve anything that happened to you today. She's hopeful that he can restore the relationship with his mom. But she's done. Okay. Rob knows that, like I said, all this is over some money. And he says that he's not making the same money that he was making in prison, because I guess he was gambling and doing things like that. Now that he on the outside, he's like working on trucks, like semi inspecting. And so then we see Tennie take the kids to the water park a little later on, because she's feeling guilty. That's really what this is about. So she goes $250 on season passes. Now, I guess I'm gonna keep it real with you. It probably wasn't a bad price for a family of four. If you really plan on going frequently. But when you question and if you got it like that, I felt like that might have not been the best judgment.
You did it out again.
I was gonna say, my notes even say she did it because she felt guilty. So we see Cheyenne come over. Tennie's talking to her. She's like, I want to know how you feel about, dad being home. Apparently, to Cheyenne, Rob is the only dad that she knows, because her father was unalive. I want to say, well, she said passed away, but I felt like when we first met them, she said that he was unalive. I may be wrong. That's alleged, but I feel like that's what she told us when we first met her. On Love During Lockup. Maybe I'm wrong. Y'all can correct me in the comments. But yeah, so she said, as she said before, he feels like the missing piece. She's been waiting for him to come home. She loves having him there. Nellz felt like this was fed to her, but okay. And but basically she said, I don't like what went down with Grandma Kate. I don't really see it for her. I don't like the thought of her putting her hand. I mean, I don't like the thought, basically seeing her put her hands on you. And it made me want to get involved. But then I realized that I would have been told to stay out of grown folks' business. So I decided to mind my business. And, Tennie explains that, she apologizes and, she is thankful that she was there to get her through her panic attack. But what's so crazy, she in the same breath says, but she shouldn't have had to.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, at least you can take accountability for that. And so, basically the brother, so Cheyenne and the brother are having a conversation. I forgot the brother's name. Do you remember the brother's name right now?
I have him as the brother.
The brother, damn, I forgot his name. I used to have it. But anyway, so she's like, do you still see Kate as your grandmother? And he was like, well, yeah, it's adults. They got frustrated. It should have been talked out, but it got physical. But I mean, yeah, that's still my grandma. He's, he has a very forgiving spirit.
He does. And you know what? I appreciated that from him, because the grandmother wasn't giving that energy. Kate basically said he over here taking care of her fat ass and her damn kids. So for the little boy to still be like, oh yeah, that's still my grandmother, and her grown ass acting like a 5-year-old talking about and them damn kids was disgusting. Kate just disgusts me. Disgusting to me.
Well, because she's that ratchet and mother, and she's also and they have a name for it. And don't get me lying, because I'm nobody's therapist. I ain't go to nobody's school for that. But I do know that there's like a term.
You don't want to just be a mother. She wants to be the mother wife.
Yeah, like they have a very unhealthy, because like he said, at one point they were best friends, and of course they probably were, because maybe she was getting the money or reaping the benefits of him doing his, his bad behaviors or activities. And so of course she probably co-signed it and never checked him or told him what he was doing was wrong. And then when he ended up in jail, she didn't even want to come visit him. But that's just my thoughts. And so yeah, y'all, basically Cheyenne says she can't see it for Kate no more after she got physical with her mama. That's not her grandma. She said, there ain't no grandma of mine.
And she said to love and respect our family, and that's not what she was given.
Cheyenne's a very smart girl. I do love that both of these kids are very, I feel like, emotionally intelligent. And I can, Tennie has done a great job with them so far, especially with them being, Tennie and Rob, Tennie, Rob was schooling from the camera. He was, from the inside. All right, up next is literally, y'all know this is Nell's favorite. This ain't even a joke.
Justine and Michael.
Y'all know she makes my ex. Both of them. I equally, like, every time I try to like her, he does something, and every time I try to like him, she does. I just equally don't like both of them.
Well, Justine and Michael, they got home, and they're trying to process everything that happened.
I'm gonna eat my chips.
Justine says, it's supposed to be a happy time, but they're worried about making a will and this high-risk pregnancy. So she tries to talk to him about getting a vasectomy, and he is immediately against it.
Now, this was disgusting to me.
Yes. Now she's like, dude, it's like getting your eyebrows done. And he's like, how many vasectomies have you had done? How the hell would you know? I ain't about to play God. He said if he's supposed to have a kid at 75, then that's what he want to be able to do. And she's like, well,
she didn't clock that.
She said, well, he did. She said, with who? Because if my tubes are tied, who are you having a child with, sir? She clocked it. She absolutely clocked it. I said, well, so he said that he doesn't.
Let me just say this PSA. I gotta do my really big. Justine, that man just what did my Angela say? When somebody tells you who they are the first time, believe them. He didn't just let you know. Don't get pregnant by this man no more. Don't get pregnant by this man no more. And look, and you better make sure he go get that vasectomy, because he clearly has every intention on reproducing again. That's just my thoughts.
Especially not making the money he was making before. Like, sir, what are you thinking? So basically,
10 kids now, 9, 10 kids.
He said he doesn't want somebody to go in there and mess something up, and then his stuff don't work. Then they called Melody, which I appreciated. They called Melody to get the baby, so they didn't argue in front of her. She told him
they had enough sense to do that.
Yes. She told him, wouldn't you rather something go wrong with you
But is
Since
it
it's
just me?
life that's at stake here. What'd you say?
Is it just me? And it's something that maybe I clocked and y'all let me know. Is it just me or does it seem like I love the fact that Mel is there and I'm happy because I know she wanted to be there. I don't know what age she is now or what grade she's in now because I know she was a little closer to the older daughter's age and the older daughter's off in college at the
Mhm.
University of Las Vegas, I think. So um I feel like they kind of use her as a babysitter. Like I feel like when we first saw them, when the opening scene, and she was like, "Thank you for watching the boys for us," and then they come in, and then they call her again to take the baby. Now, man, it might have only been for a second, but it just gave me the thought that, like,
I mean, I would hope not, since she is a stay-at-home mom anyway. I think I'm assuming and I'm hoping it's only when they maybe have to run errands or something
she's
like
a
that.
stay-at-home mom with a pregnant again with a high-risk pregnancy and got all them other kids, all them other personalities. These kids are raising kids.
That's what they wanted.
That's what I see happening. That's what I
That's
see happening. Yes, they step in as parents when they need to, but I absolutely what I'm seeing, and let me know if y'all disagree with me. What I'm seeing is our kids raising kids.
child. You act like that don't happen everywhere.
No, I'm saying it happens, but we trying to be better in 2024. Some of us parents, I
I
can't
was gonna
speak.
say
Look, I can't speak for these two. Where's my fam?
you the worst.
Can't
Um,
speak for these.
she
Okay.
said, if it was his life at stake, she would care more about saving his life than having any of this. Okay. And he said, listen, I ain't doing it. You can be mad at me, you can resent me, whatever. And she said, you're acting like basically you snipping, okay, this tiny little thing is worth more than my life. And that was kind of the end of the conversation there. I was like, you would have thought, maybe something kicked in and came, got through to him. He don't give a damn. Now, like I was telling Trace, apparently, I guess all the kids are living there because they go to school from there, or like
Right.
Trace said,
The
maybe not,
majority.
yeah,
Yeah,
not
I was
the.
gonna say, I know we didn't see that little girl that we saw. So I got to take it back for all of those that have been with us for a while, been with the franchise for a while. So last time we saw Justine and Michael, they were revealing to the family that they were the mother and all that other stuff that they were moving to Vegas, because her daughter was going to school in Vegas. So and no shade, apparently a lot of people are flocking out to Vegas. It's, I guess, cheaper to live. So anyway, now the little girl, he was trying to convince his older daughter that's there now, even though she was asking to move with them. He was trying to convince her to stay back because he had three or four other kids back there in, what was it, Boston or Philly or something like that. It was one of those, right? But he had those kids back there, Connecticut. I think it might have been Connecticut. And so he didn't want, because she had such a close relationship, again, built-in babysitter, and Mel was so close to the younger kids, he didn't want her to leave them over there. And I noticed we didn't see the little girl, and I think he had a son that was a little bit older than the little girl, and I think their mothers probably were like not going for it.
Mhm,
But we do see, I guess, the older son that's there, and
mhm.
what if they have nine? He has what, 4 or 5? This is her fifth break. Nine, two. So yeah,
Oh,
so he had 4 kids. So yeah, so that would be right. So two of them are still over there because I told y'all there's no way all of them could fit in that house. And I'm sure they come for summers and stuff like that or whatever, or maybe on a visitation, or maybe he goes over there to see them like they said they were gonna do and fly back. But which I ain't gonna speak on that because I don't know. But do I think it's happening?
not with the money he's saying he making.
Right.
Um, Now he said for the most part, all the kids get along, but they have their days. I think this is a setup for the end. Michael said that he likes having his 9 to 5 job because when he's aggravated, he can take it out on everybody, and going to work, he ain't got to deal with that. Plus, a stipulation of his parole is to have a W-2. He said he's working for a moving company as a manager. They're really nice. They didn't discriminate on him. And the only problem, I guess, was when he saw his first paycheck, he said he almost threw up because he used to make that in like 10 minutes. But he said he can't think like that no more. Okay. I don't see why he can't do that on the side.
What, his rap?
Yeah. If he was making what he making a paycheck in 10 minutes.
Because he wasn't just rapping. I said it. I said it. Yes, I did.
I said it.
And this is
Look,
no. This is
came back on the camera. You came back on the camera. I said it.
now. This is no shade to Michael. I've never listened to his
Oh,
music, so I'll start off there. But have they ever played anything on live? You would know. You know. You've been watching him for a while. Have they ever played any of his? Oh, okay. At least with the other one that I don't like, was it Cameron? I've heard some of his stuff. We see him making videos. Michael's just a rapper out of nowhere. And I'm sorry. What do we know about most rappers? But what were they doing before they became rappers? I said
yeah. Oh my God. All right. So Justine, like I said, she is a stay-at-home mom. So she's at home with the baby. She says she forgot how much she missed having the baby around the house, although it is hard as hell. And really the only time she get outside is when she got to run errands. Now, while she's out running errands, she gets a call from
isn't that
Santana
terrible? The one time you get outside is the grocery store? Girl, bye.
and with the baby.
With the baby. You ain't even really outside.
Girl. So while she's out running errands, she gets a call from Santana telling her to come home because his brother done popped off on him. His brother Michael. Okay. So she calls Big Michael to find out if he know what's going on. He said he already on his way. He's leaving work early. She says, let's meet outside so we can go in together, I guess, as a united front. Okay. Now she says since
I did like that. I will give them their things for that. That was good.
I like Justine. I feel like she whatever. I like Justine. She
Like I
said
said, sometimes I like her, but when I try to like her, but she do something, he do something, they collectively they be on that bullshit. But I be trying to like them.
so. She said Santana was diagnosed with autism. He's high functioning. She said his main point of struggle is effectively being able to communicate his feelings and emotions. Now, when they get to the house, it looked like homeboy Michael was ready to just run in there. I think he ain't even close his door. She's like, whoa, whoa, like, sir, I said we going in together. Like, wait, grab the baby, get the baby out of the car, okay? Slow your ass down. So they get into the house. Basically, Santana explains that Michael has been bullying him. He said he threw his phone at him. Big Michael immediately go off. He's like, you threw your $1,500 phone? Where? At who? And when I say this thing is smashed the hell up. But he said he did it because Michael wouldn't leave him alone. He then said that, he tried to get his phone. Then Michael told him if he was a real man, basically he would do something about him taking it. And apparently he punched him and then threw him on the bed. Okay, so there was a little altercation. Michael said that Santana kept on comparing his mom to his dad and saying that his dad is better than his mom. He said what's Big Michael basically said, y'all did all of this, y'all both upset, and now y'all both grounded. So then Michael threw away the $1,500 phone, while Santana's like, we can't just get it repaired. He said, hell no, we ain't doing that.
First of all, the fact that he had a $1,500 phone in the first place is beyond me.
They didn't have $1,500 phones back then, Trace.
And if they did, guess who wouldn't have it? Me.
So then Michael, he gets upset. He punches a hole in the door and he is like, I gotta go. I feel like this whole thing about, he gets aggravated, so he goes to work and all this other, it was a setup really for the end. But I don't know. I think that was a lot. That was the reaction was a lot. I don't know if I would have came. I don't know if I would have came home early because the kids is fighting.
Look, and I hope they well, nowadays you got to, kids be taking it left, as we know. Like Justine said, we didn't know if we was gonna walk into a bloodbath, which made me think this ain't the first time this has happened.
Yeah, happened before. True.
Right. And can you imagine, because those are also somebody else's kids? So Michael having to explain to his baby mama why his son might be up, or Justine having to explain to her baby daddy.
I was about to say, I think Justine was a little bit more worried than Michael was because
Right.
little Michael ain't so little.
Right. Right.
Santana had a reason to be calling, talking about "Mama, come home, please, quickly."
Well, Michael said, "Stop talking about my mama."
I feel him. I mean,
Oh,
yeah, don't talk no shit.
look, don't start no, won't be no
shit. So,
we are back with this couple that I really didn't care to see again, but we're here with Melissa and Louie. They're back on our screens. He's still working at the pizza shop and I guess like a smoothie king. And while he's also doing his personal training on the side, he says it's been difficult to get a better job because, you know, they count him out as soon as they got to run his background check. You know what I'm saying? Melissa still wants a ring from Louie. Louie explains he does want to marry Melissa, but he doesn't feel like it needs to be on a schedule. You know, them up north men. Now, Louie also tells her that, you know, he needs to save money for the ring. And so Melissa said that basically their whole relationship has been her waiting. When I said, girl, I feel you. Feel you. And Louie says, and Louie basically lets us know that he is saving up for a ring, but he's not gonna tell us, right? So then he gets a call from Mama. We know Mama's overbearing, she all in this business. That's another unhealthy mother-son relationship. And he tells her that he is ring shopping for Melissa. His mom's not crazy about this idea. And he reveals that he plans to spend like 10 to 12K on a ring, and basically tells her he got it. He said, I got it. And he's spending everything that he ever saved on this ring. And so his mom basically is like, well, you know, I've been married 3 times. I can give you one of those. They laying around. They ain't doing nothing. They just sitting in a jewelry box. But, you know, Louie's like, I want Melissa to have the best. She deserves it. She done waited for me. She been, you know, a pick me since high school. So I deserve to give her, you know, a good ring. And so, you know, and Mama Debbie is ready. I think that's her name, Debbie. She ready to move back to New Jersey to talk some sense into him. And I mean, I would have took one of them rings in that jewelry box. They can't all be that old.
They ain't 2 carats.
Oh no, it's not 2 carats.
We know that's important.
Oh, here goes Nellz.
Bianca and Daniel, child, please. I can't stand these people. Or at least Bianca.
Okay, so you know what I discovered before you even start? She wears lighter makeup than her actual skin. I noticed that this episode.
That was concealer.
No, I did when I saw her like really like, but the point is it's a lot lighter than, and I think that's what gives the Casper look. Because she's putting on makeup that's lighter than what she actually is normally. Like she's making herself lighter.
So then she likes
not saying she's not already, you know,
pale,
washed out, pale, right? But she's making it worse.
She likes to look like Casper then.
Yeah.
All right, so we open up the scene with Bianca and Daniel still going back and forth about this damn coffee. He's standing 10 toes. He said he ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. And didn't. I think he even went and turned the pot off.
Right.
And still didn't pour none. She said that
where are y'all using them? Y'all better get y'all a Keurig. What's going on? That 1950s coffee pot.
I can't. She said that she does feel like Daniel owes her something because she's done a lot. So he wanted clarification, and she says that, you know, he hasn't been able to provide anything, and he was like, girl, I've been out for one day and I made you breakfast.
Right.
Like, she shut the hell up after that. So they're headed over to the parole to, you know, see what they're gonna say. They're worried about him having to go live in a halfway house because, you know, people have access to things, and, you know, he's worried about relapsing. Now, after like an hour and some change.
No, that was more like 2 hours, bro.
It was like 2 hours. She
wasn't.
She was sitting in
That's,
the car for a
I
while.
thought it was like an hour and a half, and then once they went into the 2 o'clock time frame, because they got there like I felt like they got there at like around 12 or something when they started the time. But when you saw her at like 1:15 or something, when she walked back to the car, and then by the time it hit 2:40, damn near 3 o'clock, I said, "Oh no, that's 2 hours."
Mm-mm. So Daniel came back out with his parole officer. He questioned her, gave them temporary approval for him to move in, and said, within a month they're going to do a home investigation. Now, on the ride back to the house, the topic of Plan B comes up, because he didn't use protection. He's like, yeah, you know what, we need to get that, and she's really not feeling that idea because apparently she wants to be pregnant. He feels like it would be completely irresponsible because he owe everybody, including his baby mama. Okay, we find out that he has a 13-year-old son that he has had no contact with. Um, Now, he said basically they've had a conversation about this back when he was locked up. They never planned to use protection, but did plan to use a plan B afterwards. She got all hush mouth, and she said basically, I guess 2 years ago, what?
So you plan to not use protection,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody planned to take birth control. Nobody planned to take. It's just crazy to me. And then, but you're planning on doing the plan B. Y'all do know. I ain't trying to put nobody business out there. I have several nieces and nephews that are here because the plan B failed. Okay, the plan B failed. Okay.
Exactly, and he wants to talk about what's irresponsible. That was irresponsible.
Mhm.
So she goes into her previous relationship that she had 2 years ago. Apparently, she lost the baby, and she said that she really wants one. So she has no plans on taking a
She
plan B.
wants a replacement baby, and she don't. And the worst part about that, because when you're in that mode of you just want a replacement baby, you don't care if the father's there or not. You just want the baby. That he's playing a very dangerous game in the mindset that she's in right now. He's playing a very dangerous game.
The look on his face looks like he feels like he made a mistake by even.
Right. He's like, oh,
Yeah, literally. All right, now Teresa's favorite.
mm. All right. So we got. I guess I can come back on camera for y'all for Z and Troy. So Troy done walk. He done took a long walk around the park. It ain't dark yet. And then he finds a spot to have conversation, stimulation,
I can't deal with you.
share his situation, and then get some relaxation,
Oh my God.
elevation.
Motivation.
Yeah. So Z says that, she's like, I don't understand. I thought I was sharing with my best friend. Girl, stop. You didn't tell the man, just like you didn't tell him, or maybe you did tell him because you did tell him you cheated on him. So I guess, eventually told him. But point is that you do withhold the truths, but then you always want him to be open and forthcoming. So you're a little, it's a double standard for me, Z. I can't see it for you. Now she admits that she struggles with trust because she's a cheater. And she's scared that Troy might want to get his lick back one day, and never knows when it's gonna strike. Okay. And so that's why he can't never be by himself. That's why she has to know everywhere he goes, when he goes, and how he goes.
Because of her own shit.
Like he ain't got a bracelet to keep him from going certain places any damn way.
It don't really matter to him, clearly. Didn't he walk like 10 miles?
Right. So then we see apparently everyone in Troy's general consensus has a name that starts with a T, because then we get Trey. He's the friend of Troy. Okay. They go way back. He said he talks to him every day while he was locked up. And so Troy breaks down everything that's going on with Z and how she's keeping stuff from him. They have a little session, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say libations, but libation, okay? And Troy reflects on the fact that, I didn't come from the streets, and I ain't need nothing, but I wanted fast money. What he say? I wanted to take the elevator instead of taking the stairs. Well, look where that got you, brother, in the basement. So
I can't stand you.
I said what I said. So he contemplates doing what he look, and it's so funny because my son asked me today, I guess. Funny story. Sorry, I'm gonna be long-winded. My son asked me today, he said, Mom, he said, only adults go to jail, right? Because apparently his teacher has been telling him you do bad things, you go to jail. So I said, oh no, kids can get it too. Kids can get it too. Bad kids go to jail. So that's why you need to follow instructions. He got it. He don't want to go to jail. He don't want to go to jail.
So scared of my damn nephew.
He like it out here. He don't want to go out here. And so I'm just saying it starts early, y'all. It starts early. So anyway, so then basically Trey tells him, so Troy's like, I don't know what I'm contemplating what I need to do. I need to get this money by tomorrow. And Trey's like, you know what, bro? You do, but you need to do it the right way, especially since you're having this conversation on camera. I'm adding that. That wasn't said. I'm saying. Because Trey, if he was running the streets with him, it didn't make sense to do this on camera. But I get it. And I don't even know, and maybe it's legal, but I just thought the fact that you were even smoking.
Yeah, I thought so. I was like,
camera was a bit, you're pushing it, bro. You're pushing it.
I thought the same thing.
But anyway, so he convinces him to take his ass back home. And so they hop in the car. And then, he still feels like he got a reason to be upset. So he returns home. Z got a mouthful for him and gets on him about walking out and says, real men communicate. Okay. And then he's like, but what about your communication?
He said, so do real women.
Right. And so she tells him that, he has too much to lose. And if he wants the streets, she'll basically bring it out now. And so he finally tells her that, he was with Trey, and Z apologizes for not telling him about the rent sooner. And, and then she walks around with the face like this, like acting like she don't want him. And she, playing hard to get. And that face is terrible. I got to get a different shot of her.
Next is Britney and Kerok. Britney is aggravated that, they feel like they've done everything right. And the system is holding them back. Okay, Kerok is blaming
Nobody hold me. Oh, that's not good.
That's not what I thought you were saying.
I was gonna say, and look, and they're definitely holding his ass down right now.
Yes, they are. So Kerok is blaming himself. They decided to go check out this government provided hotel. Britney said
say it was nice for a motel. Now, look, I done seen motels in Miami. Can I tell you that was nice for a motel? Maybe they done upgraded because they got to compete with the best Westerns, and I don't stay anything that's below 3 stars. But when I had to before in those back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Like a Days Inn or something like that. They ain't look like that. And I'm sure they probably had some bed bugs.
They did check for bed bugs. So Britney said that she's getting PTSD because, she used to be homeless. Sometimes she had to stay in a hotel. Sometimes she had to stay at a friend's house. He's worried about telling his mom because she's already in a bad mood. She done packed up her entire life to follow him. And, he feels like he's letting everybody down. So Kerok calls a property manager over in Texas to let her know that they ain't going to be able to move yet. Apparently, it was hard for them to even find a place because nobody wanted to accept a felon. And, this woman was willing to give them a chance, but she was completely fine with it. She just like, you ain't going to get your deposit or your first month's rent back. Good luck to you. So back at the house, his mom is packing up the car.
I will say that I thought Kerok's attitude, not that he could do anything about it, but I'm just going to say that I think I would have been so frustrated. And this is just keeping it real with you, y'all, audience, okay? I think I would have been so frustrated in that moment, everything that was going on, that the way he was able to just gracefully take that no twice, you ain't getting shit back. And granted, it was unreasonable for him to ask, but just I think I would have been, if I was going to ask, to hear that no would have just made, I think I would have like lost it. Because she was just too calm, like, no, sorry that happened to you. Like, I just that would have ignited a fire in me, especially with everything going on. Again.
Yeah, but
working on it in therapy.
There would be nobody to blame but yourself.
Right. Well, again, because they did this. That's what I'm saying. It all goes back to but I think in the moment, you're not thinking like that. You're just frustrated, is what I'm saying. So I was proud of how Kerok handled it. Like, okay, I understand that. And because he even thanked her, he was like, thank you so much for all you've done for her. Like, I don't even know if I would have gave her all that. I might have just hung up the phone, is what I'm saying.
Well, he doesn't want to burn that bridge because, like they said, it was
It
already
was so
hard.
hard for them to find a place, right?
If they do get approved, they're probably going to hit her back up.
Right.
So, so basically, back at the house, his mom is packing up the car. You know, she's stressed out because she's the only one apparently that packed up the damn house. But they still haven't told her that they're not going to Texas. Literally 4 hours before this lease expires. What?
Is it just me? I just want to understand. Oh my God, my Giants lost again. I'm sorry. Is it just me, or was I under the impression that they were all moving together? Like, yes, there are, but I thought they were all
not staying in the same house.
Okay, that's why I wanted to clear up, because I think because they were all living together there. I thought, and now granted, we know Texas. I don't know how they are now.
She had the house already. Britney moved into the mama's house.
Right, it wasn't. No. But what I'm saying is, I assumed that they would just move to Texas all together. So when all this happened, and at what we see play out later on, I was just like, my question is she just going to the apartment that they were going to move into?
I don't know.
That's what I was confused about.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, literally 4 hours before the lease expires, he decides he want to tell Desmond instead of telling his mama first. Desmond knows that his mom was gonna flip the hell out.
Yeah, he did. And I actually didn't think it was that bad.
What was that bad?
Her reaction. I expected it to be worse.
Well, I think it's because Kerok reminded her you knew this was a possibility. So 30 minutes before the lease expires, he finally decides to tell her, and I think it's because Britney told him to. And you know, rightfully so, she's pissed off. And she's like, really, why are you just now telling me now? I could have done something about this yesterday, but literally it's 30 minutes before the lease expires. Britney, you know, she's feeling scared because they're still going off to Texas and they don't have nobody there in Virginia for them. So, but yeah, I think they still have a place. I think they still had a place in Texas. You know what though? Well, I guess they would have had to sign a lease. I don't know if I would if they're holding my money anyway. I wouldn't have. I would have been like, well, hold it, and for the month that you have it, and if I still can't make it, then you know you can lease it to somebody else. But
oh no, I would have kept it. Yeah, I would. That's why that was my question. Could the mom stay there? Like something happened where the apartment is occupied, so it's not just sitting there, like the brother or something until they get back and they pay rent, because they've already paid the rent. They've already paid the rent at that point.
So then that means that technically means that they've already signed a lease.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they signed the lease because that's usually something they make you do in person. So that might have been something they would have done like day one when they move in, possibly. Okay. But yeah, y'all. So let us know your thoughts on this episode and give us your rating of the Life After the Lockup, season 5, episode 42. And I forgot to say the name. The name was Drama for Your Mama, which it definitely
Drama for Your Mama, yeah.
Save the Drama for Your Mama. And it was a lot of mama drama. I actually, like I said, I think Miss Tammy did real good. She just said, I'm leaving without you. I'm not doing this. Because when Kerok said, if she hit me, you got my back, I really was expecting Miss Tammy to go off. But I think that's why I said I thought her reaction really wasn't that bad. But anyway, y'all, make sure y'all hit that like button.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure you subscribe.
And hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And also, y'all, happy Indigenous People Day. It is no longer that man's day. It is the Indigenous People Day. So, y'all, if you have it off, make sure you enjoy it, whether you're working from home like myself, or, you know, you got to go in, or if you're just enjoying the day off. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And enjoy your day however you enjoy it. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Good night.